Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. Welcome to The Odds Couple, Monday edition of the program.
Single on fish.
Single on fish.
Single on fish. That's how we start the show each and every Monday, a quiet single on fish. This is The Odds Couple.
Subdued single.
That's right. As we enter week 9 of the season, and we got a big weekend to talk about. A lot of great college football. We'll tell you what we learned over the weekend. Also, we'll have some big beats that we'll get into. We got a guest today, Gabe Kuhn, former Memphis Tiger, is going to join us to talk about that big Tiger win over the weekend. It turned out to be a big win because North Texas wasn't going to stop scoring.
Because they won.
And they won, yeah.
It's a big win.
So that's a big one. Also, we got some fish nuggets. We got the game show sweeping the nation. Who said it?
Who said it?
Who said it?
Who said it? Coming up later in the show, and then we'll take a peek at what's going on tonight in Monday Night Football and what's coming ahead this week in college football and the SEC and the Memphis Tigers. All right, I'm Rob Fisher. To my right is Lang Whitaker. Hello,
Hey, Rob.
Lang. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. You should be
Big
great,
weekend,
right?
yeah.
Big
It's a good
weekend? You're the only one that didn't think the Texas-Georgia game was boring.
I didn't think we were going to win. I didn't think Georgia was going to win. And then they did exactly the opposite. I told you guys they hadn't had a game all year where they kind of dominated start to finish. And I said the only chance they have is if they have that game this week, and they had it.
Yeah.
They looked awesome. So
Yeah.
that was great.
Good for you. Congratulations on the win.
Even though the refs
Good
try
job.
to screw us, the refs try to take it away from
Well,
us.
they always do. They always do.
Refs.
But those dogs, they hunkered down.
We
for
weren't
sure.
afraid. No, we weren't afraid of them. We came to eat.
Came to eat.
We ate.
John Roser is here.
Rob Fisher.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Great to have you.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
You kind of called your team's demise this week.
Yeah. I mean, look, I still think we could be okay. Like, I think the defense is actually good and getting better. Special teams has been a disaster for the 49ers all season. Like, it is a disaster. I believe after yesterday, we have to be, I think, 32nd in special teams. We were 31st going into it, but I think we got to be 32nd now. We're dead last. Every week, it's a return or a touchdown we give up on special teams. It's terrible. Offensively, I mean, dude, you lose IU, pretty much tears his ACL. Your Debo goes out the first series of the game. He's throwing up. Jawan Jennings isn't there. McCaffrey's not there. So you're literally missing, like, all your guys. And Brock Purdy's not Patrick Mahomes. Like, he does need a couple of those guys, you know? Now, as good as I think our defense is getting better, our defense is still not as good as Kansas City. And Kansas City takes these. They win in the mud like they do. Mahomes has 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions this year. The defense keeps them in these games, and then he does make the play at the end, makes the 1 or 2 plays that they need to win the game. Ultimately, I think it comes down to, I think the Niners can be okay. You give Spagnuolo and that defense that he has, you give him 2 weeks to prepare, he's going to make almost every.
Sounds like Chris Collinsworth. Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, I bet he makes every quarterback in the league
You know
look,
the way he likes to play.
He's going to make him look stupid. He's going to make him look bad. But no, I was the only one who had faith in the Georgia Bulldogs here.
It's true.
I'm the one who had faith. I should have had it as a pick. I made a mistake on that one.
Yeah, Georgia Bulldogs. What'd you learn about the dogs this week? I mean, are they...
I think Georgia's got really good players. I think
If they're healthy, they're good.
among the best teams in the country?
Yes.
I think
If
Georgia.
healthy.
I think Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. If things break right, I mean, any of those 4 could win the national championship. I don't think this is a year where there's one team is head and shoulders better than everybody else. If they don't lose again, if they happen to turn things around, I mean, Alabama, Tennessee, like if the quarterback play gets better, like maybe.
A lot of question marks in there.
No, it is, but it just shows you, like, I don't think any of these
Texas.
teams are just head and shoulders better than everybody. Like, I think if things break the right way for some of them, like, if you had to ask me who do I think is going to win the national championship, if I had to say neutral field, who the best team is, who I would probably take Ohio State. Because they've paid more for their roster than anybody else. So I know.
I don't know. Georgia's probably paid a similar amount.
Yeah, $20 million.
They just don't talk about it.
They don't talk
Ohio
about it.
State had to make a big deal about it because Michigan won a championship.
Also,
now they have to be, we paid.
Well, they've also lost some of that $20 million because your guys can't stop driving cars fast.
Yeah.
So there's been that too. How did they have a Georgia game the day before an F1 race in Austin?
And not have half the Georgia team compete in the F1
right.
race. I was just glad that
maybe Kirby actually said, if you guys win this game, we can stay for the F1 race tomorrow.
I enjoyed Georgia winning the game, and then I imagine Matthew McConaughey driving home crying in his Lincoln.
Well, times like these, you find what you're made of.
By the way, also, Matthew McConaughey was there in his brown jacket and his cowboy hat. And then you had that knockoff Matthew McConaughey, Glenn Powell, also there.
Right.
He's like a Dollar General Matthew McConaughey. He was there too. He's also apparently from Austin and got the McConaughey playbook. And it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna be budget McConaughey.
Yeah. That's kind of what the deal is. That's not a bad role.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Good. Speaking of brown, did you see those Illinois helmets?
They were kind of cool.
They were horrible.
I liked them.
Of brown.
They
You
were
should see the
terrible.
look Rosa gave me when you said, speaking of brown.
You gave me the same look. Where are you going with this?
It was an alarm.
It might be doo-doo.
The helmets were terrible. They were.
Oh, no.
I love poop.
I like
I
it.
loved it.
They were
I like
awful.
it.
No, they looked stupid.
It's different.
It
liked
was
it.
stupid.
Different.
Oh, and they told me each helmet took 8 hours to perfect.
Okay,
well, that's dumb.
Well, that's a bit much for Illinois football. Okay, it's not Notre Dame.
Oh, jeez.
But good for
they
them.
were terrible.
Good for them. Michigan's terrible.
Yeah.
That's one thing that would concern me with if you are a Texas fan. Georgia's the first real team you've played this year, and you weren't.
No.
You weren't there for it.
Although I kind of feel like Texas clearly has a talented roster. They have
do.
lots of good players,
They all have Lambos.
good coaching, all that. They're everybody's lost a game at this point except for Oregon.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a game. To lose to Georgia is not the worst team in the world to lose to. Maybe that's their loss.
Penn State is undefeated, by the way.
But they got to play Ohio State.
Worst home loss.
Miami is undefeated.
They're going to go undefeated because I don't think they play anybody else.
Yeah. Again, they should have already lost. They could have lost to Virginia Tech. They could have lost to Cal.
They should have lost to Cal.
Yeah.
The
They could have lost to Louisville this past weekend.
the Texas loss was the worst home loss by a number one team in the country since I believe it was 1986, if I'm not mistaken. So, and it felt like it was worse than 30-15.
The craziest stat I saw was that Kirby Smart, I'm going to find it real quick, began his time at Georgia, I believe it was 47-17 was his record. He got here it is, 48-14. He got his 100th win against Texas. He's now 117, which means he started 48-14 and he's gone 52-3.
Jeez.
The last few years.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All right. What's also amazing is Mizzou playoff contention after another big win.
Okay, can we
They
stop?
knock off Auburn. Brady Cook. I mean, what a hero, really.
Did you see
when you
I
think
did
about
not
it?
include this.
Going to the hospital, coming back from the hospital, putting his pads back on, getting his stuff back on, playing, leading the Tigers to victory. MIZ.
Yeah.
Speaking of Browns,
KUI.
Poo.
I almost included this in the who said it. 'Cause did you see Eli Drinkwitz talking about the Brady Cook thing and he crying
Oh, no, I didn't see
about
it.
what Brady Cook means to this program and the example he showed and all that stuff.
Oh, God.
He beat Auburn.
He did.
I know.
He beat a terrible
Barely.
Auburn
Real good
team.
Auburn
It was like the
Yeah.
last drive of the game.
Like, what are we doing here?
And in the NFL, Russell Wilson was the right choice.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin was right. Russell Wilson should play.
He got better as the game went on, no doubt. He was rusty to start, and the second half he was much better. This is, I would bet. I mean, it's 2-5. There are 2-5 teams that have made the playoffs, but I would bet this is probably Rodgers' last year. You can see it in he can't roll out anymore.
Yeah.
Like that was always a big thing with him. Like, man, you could run bootleg out of the pocket and that guy could get on the run and he could just throw it anywhere on the field and put it on the money, and he can't roll out anymore. He's a pocket passer. Their offensive line is not amazing. And the biggest thing, and you saw this with Brady and Brady's last year too. Dude, he don't want to get hit anymore. Yeah. Like, you see it coming, and it's like when he gets up off the ground, it's like it just looks like it hurts him to stand up after. Even if he doesn't get hit, like if he just is like, oh, I don't want to get hit, I fall down to the ground. When he just gets back up from that, it looks like it hurts him.
It's like me getting out of bed in the morning.
Right. It's just like
I have to get out of bed in shifts. Like I can't just get out of the bed. I have to swing my legs.
All right, one leg's there.
Yeah. Take a pause. All right, sit up. Everything's still there. Everything's attached. All right, now we go forward. When I was a kid, Steve Bartkowski was the quarterback of the Falcons. And every time he would draw back, the pocket would sort of threaten to collapse. Boom, he was down. He was just down. He
just like
I'm
not taking the hit.
Now.
Yes, that's absolutely what Rodgers looks like right now.
A couple of notes before we get to the break. The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. The root for points. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. It was the most exciting game of the season. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. 986 yards in the game as well. And then the Tigers against North Texas crushed the over of 68.5. They finished 52-44, 96 points in that game. Meanwhile, the academies covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country. So, yeah, they've been fun to watch, and they're ranking machines. And this week, Navy's got Notre Dame. So that'll be fun. It's at Navy.
It's USA against God.
Yeah. And then we got the Lions roaring in the NFL as well.
Trick question. God is America.
Field goal with 15 seconds
Separation of
left.
church and state. Let's test it out.
Field goal with 15 seconds left secures a win for the Lions, who blew two 11-point leads to the Vikings, but they get the victory and trying to show that they're the best team in the NFC.
I thought that looked great for both teams.
I did too. I thought the Vikings. I came out of it thinking, boy, the Vikings are, I think, better than I thought.
Everybody thought, though, the big matchup of the day, because it's America, it's Fox's America's game of the week. It's 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. The high-level games yesterday were Vikings, Lions, and Packers, Texans. Those were the high-level games yesterday.
Yeah, great games yesterday. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, hold on.
By the way, this Saturday, we're just talking about games coming up. Texas at Vandy.
Is game day there?
No, it's in Indiana. It's in Bloomington.
Yeah, anyway. Indiana, Washington.
If Texas hadn't lost, they were going to go to Vandy.
Yeah.
They were going to. They were going to go to Vandy. Indiana's not going to have their quarterback this week.
All right.
Shout out Signetti. Florida needs to hire him.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Gabe Kuhn going to join us. We'll talk a little Tigers. We'll talk some college football with him as well. That's right here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard suite and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser in the house as well. Coming up, we got Who Said It coming up here on the program. Yep, we're looking forward to that. Got some fish nuggets. We'll take a peek at the action coming up this week in both college football and in the Shield tonight. We got 2 games on Monday Night Football, so we'll talk about those as well. But right now, we're going to talk more about the weekend gone by in college football. And joining us, former Memphis Tiger from 92.9 ESPN. He's on daily from 4 to 7 p.m., host of the Gabe Kuhn Show. Gabe Kuhn joins us. Hello, Gabe. How are you, man?
I am doing well. Good to be on, fellas. It's been a while. Since I've been with you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. That Tigers game, I wanted to start there, of course, with you. It was an entertaining game. It felt like the last team that had the ball would win it. It almost turned out that way because these teams couldn't stop each other.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to me at this point because I thought, stylistically this year, based on what we have seen, this defense was going to take a step in the right direction. That Navy game's a little bit of an outlier every year because you get a different look, and they've thrown in a lot more passing concepts, so they put up a lot of yards. But I figured even in a game against a decently talented North Texas team, they wouldn't give up 445 yards passing like they did. But it feels similar to what we've seen in the past. And one thing that is frustrating to me, and I'm sure you guys see this as well, is it feels like this offense and this offensive staff doesn't really open up the playbook unless they have a deficit or they feel like they're going to be in a shootout. Other games, it feels like they could have put their foot down on the pedal and really taken off, but they haven't done that. But, the one positive I can take from this game, 1, it's a win. And 2, you got it going down the field. You had more chunk yardage. Mario Anderson Jr. had a really good game running the ball, but Seth Hennigan had 319 yards passing. Demir Blankenship, you drew up a 62-yard, post for him down the middle of the field to go get a touchdown. It was just a lot more explosive than they have been most of this year.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I've taken away from since the Navy loss, every game since the Navy loss I've watched, and I thought to myself, I see another loss in their future.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I don't feel confident in them running the table, which is what they have to do to have a shot.
Here's the thing, looking down the stretch of their schedule until they get to Tulane, they just have nobody that they're playing that's worth a damn, though. And that's what gives you hope. You have Charlotte, who's going to try to run the ball, and they were successful at it last year. It was still a close game, but I feel like this defense with Chandler Martin, Elijah Herring at the linebacker positions, a lot of guys they have up front, they are a good run defense. UTSA has been miserable. They haven't had the quarterback position all figured out. Rice, not very good. UAB, Trent Dilfer should be fired. I thought he should have gotten fired a couple of weeks ago when he brought his kids up to the press conference and said, This isn't Bama. Don't worry about it. Come on. We don't take it that serious. But I think they should be 10-1 heading into that Thanksgiving Day game at Tulane. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I'll say this, as far as winning the American Athletic Conference, they're going to have a lot of help because Navy and Army, I heard you talking about them before you had me on, they're absolutely rolling.
Gabe, I was talking to someone earlier today who was at the game this weekend, and they were kind of bemoaning the crowd size. They were saying, it wasn't there was 25,000, something like that was the attendance. I don't know. Do you like Fish was saying, it feels like they're going to lose another game to him. It doesn't feel like there's the excitement behind things right now that there was 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree with that. But even 5 years ago, even when I was there, we had struggles getting guys in the stands or people in the stands. Like you could start 8-0 like we did in 2015, but if you lose a game to Navy, lose a game to Houston, and you sit there at 8-2, by the time you get back for your season finale against SMU on senior day, I think we had like 15,000 people in the stands. So it can be fickle in that way, and I'm not trying to call out Tiger fans.
Right.
But I think one of the biggest things you're looking at and why people were so frustrated by not making the move to the Pac-12, this home schedule was miserable this year. We always knew that heading into it. I mean, it was always going to be North Alabama, Troy, Middle Tennessee, North Texas, Charlotte, Rice, and UAB. That's not getting anybody going. I guess maybe UAB, if they were on an up year for the Battle of the Bones, you get some of the old school fans involved. But other than that, this home schedule's been miserable, and we knew that going in.
I have to say, I am a fan of Trent Dilfer as a bettor because it gives me one pretty confident bet each week just going against UAB week after week.
Yeah, they've been a broken ATM this year for sure. Gabe, Georgia made the Texas fans go home early on Saturday and showed dominance in that game over the Longhorns. Who, in your mind, is the top team in the country?
I think the team that beats Georgia, really do. I'm not going to say Oregon because I think Oregon didn't look great until they played Ohio State. And even though like they won by one, you're at Autzen, you had a crazy, I don't even know if that onside kick, what was it in the second quarter, was purposeful where he just nailed the guy in the front row. Not even sure. They sort of stole a possession that way. But I know Oregon's undefeated. They're number one in the country, but I still think it's Georgia. And the reason I say that is because, and I think Lang's going to like this one, Guru Shu, Glenn Schumann, their defensive coordinator, man. I think in some of the biggest moments this year, he has made the adjustments and the game plan really show through. I know the first half against Bama was ugly, but sometimes you just have to tip the cap to the other team and say you had a really good game plan. You knew what to do to come out. But after the half, you saw them tightening up. Couldn't do anything. And then I think the first half there against Texas and basically the whole game, he was phenomenal. I mean, that defense was ready to go. They knew where to be. There was no coverage bust. I think they allowed 38 yards in the first half, only 2 yards passing. They had a couple of turnovers. That guy really can coach, and I think he'll be a head coach here before long. I don't expect Carson Beck to throw as many picks as he has in the big games. I think he has 6 combined between Texas and Alabama at this point. I don't expect that to hold, but what I do expect to hold is Glenn Schumann and that defense continue to be dominant. And I don't know if you guys have seen the viral clip going around, but this is me as a football guy just nerding out. He's got like a 3-3 stack where you have 3 D linemen and 3 linebackers, and they had this crazy stem where they did a double mug and brought both the linebackers into the A gap, walked the guy out down on the edge and brought a 6-man pressure. It's just some of the things he's able to do to disguise and confuse an offense impresses the hell out.
The funny part about Schumann, that was on like the 4th and 8 play or whatever. They blitzed 6, and Ewers was so like shocked by the whole thing, he kind of underthrew the pass, and the receiver fell down short of the first down. The thing about Schumann that's interesting to me is like, man, you must be okay with being micromanaged, because Kirby is a big part of that defense too, and you can see throughout the game. Schumann calls the play, and Kirby runs over and is like, what'd you call? What's the play? What's it? And he feels like he's still the defensive coordinator to some degree. Also, the co-defensive coordinator the last couple of years, I wonder, no one ever talks about this, left and is now one of the assistants at Vanderbilt, Will Muschamp.
Okay.
And I wonder how much.
Will Muschamp's at Vanderbilt?
He is. His son goes there. So he left Georgia to go be on the staff at Vandy. So, like, everyone always talks about Jerry Kill and all the stuff at Vandy, but, like, Will Muschamp's on that staff, too. So I don't know how much of a role he's played there this year either. Is there another team in that top tier? Like, we were talking about earlier, and John Roser, I just like to call him John. John said that he thought besides Georgia, there's maybe, Oregon, Ohio State. Who else did you have in there, John? Texas. I mean, it's a pretty small tier of like that top tier.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the other team that I would put next to Georgia right now is Ohio State. I think if you get them on a neutral field against just about any of the other teams in the country outside of Georgia, I think they would handle business. Like that Oregon game goes different if it's in the shoe as opposed to in Autzen. I think Texas is still good, but I would be lying to you if I wasn't a little discouraged about the way they looked offensively
Yeah.
against a team that really had their game plan all figured out. And Quinn Ewers, it's throughout his entire career. He's a good quarterback. I think he'll be one of the higher drafted quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft. But in the end of the day, there's just something missing. There's something missing. I don't really quite know what it is. He just misses throws. He looks uncomfortable in the biggest moments of the season. But I'll put Texas there. And then Oregon, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds insane. I still want to see more from that team. They just, outside of that Ohio State game, I have not been overly impressed with what they've been able to do.
No.
And they've had some letdowns. It's just offensively, they've been stagnant at times. They seem to have picked it up the last 2 weeks. They had the short rest and handled Purdue easily 35-0. But I still want to see more from that Oregon team before I buy them as a national champ.
Yeah. Gabe, I will leave you on this. How about those Missouri Tigers? They are threatening for a playoff spot after a miraculous comeback win against a very good Auburn team.
Shout out to the pride of Chaminade Preparatory, Brady Cook, baby. How about that kid? How about it? He gets knocked out of the game, has to go get an MRI at the hospital, leaves, says, I have 2.5 more games at Faroe. I have to be back out there with my team. And led 2 drives to go win it.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Yeah.
MIZ.
KUI.
No.
I can't give you the ZOU. I just can't do it. It's not in my.
That's all right. Well, Gabe, hey, thanks, man. We appreciate you taking some time out to join us. And, of course, you can hear Gabe each afternoon on 92.9 ESPN from 4 to 7 p.m., The Gabe Kuhn Show. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate it.
Gabe.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, thanks, Gabe. Gabe Kuhn joining us here today, former Tiger offensive lineman and host of The Gabe Kuhn Show. 4 to 7 each day. Vandy, 1 game short of a bowl. And they're ranked 25th in the country this week.
What if they get it beating Texas?
They're not going to beat Texas.
Why not? Why
It's
not?
Vandy.
Why not?
It's Vandy. They didn't cover against Ball State. They reverted back to Vandy against Ball State.
Yeah, it's all right.
They didn't cover.
They got to win.
They did get a win. They're 5-2.
Flavia had 275 yards passing. He had 275 yards passing and like 85 yards rushing or something crazy. And they only scored 20-something, but.
Pretty impressive. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Who Said It? The game show that is sweeping the nation. We'll have that for you. Also some fish nuggets, and then we'll take a look at tonight's Monday Night Football action and the week ahead in college football as well. It's all ahead here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jerry for the flash.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. A big show today, big show Thursday. Don't forget The Odds Couple each Monday and Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Thursday show is a little bigger than this show.
Thursday's the big show.
It's bigger. It's a bigger production, bigger program.
Yeah.
But
program.
not more important.
No,
than
definitely
this
not.
very show. Monday and Thursday from 2 until 3. You can catch us live here on The Odds Couple. And at this point of the show, if you're first time joining us, boy, are you in for a treat.
Are you ever?
If you have been with us, you know what's coming. It's time for Who Said It?
Who said it?
Said it.
Somehow we have two producers on the show. And we still can't get a theme song for Who Said
You don't
It.
need a theme song for
Can't get a
it.
theme song.
All right, a jingle? Can we get a jingle? John just
We
shut
do
me
need a
down.
jingle.
Didn't even answer.
Jingles are out.
All right. We got a banner.
Jingles are so 1995.
We have the most Who Said It quotes we've ever had.
Oh, my.
7.
Oh.
And I didn't even include 2 or 3 great ones. I also didn't include any of the press conference talk about Deshaun Watson from yesterday, because those would all be pretty obvious, but those were all equally as wild as any of the other stuff in this thing. So, Clip 1, here we go.
All right.
These players get the best out of me. I'm so proud of these guys because nobody believed in us. Nobody gave us a chance. Your whole network doubted us. Nobody believed us. Then they try to rob us with calls in this place. And these guys are so resilient. We talked about intent. What was our intent when we walked on the field? Our intent was not to take pictures, not to do all the superstar stuff. Our intent was to eat. Our intent was to come eat and be hungry. I'm not interested in all the bells and whistles. What I want is a team that fights their ass off, and they did tonight. Who said it?
That's Kirby Smart.
Yeah,
That's Kirby Smart. That's right.
That is Kirby
How about
Smart.
them Bulldogs?
I saw it.
How about them Bulldogs? Let's hear Kirby.
Look at him.
These players get the best out of me.
The best part's when the light in the stadium cuts off.
Your whole network doubted us. Nobody believed us. And they tried to
Calls
rob
her
us with calls in this place. And these guys are so resilient. You know what I mean? We talked about intent. What was our intent when we walked on the field? Our intent was not to take pictures, not to do all the superstar stuff. Our intent was to eat. Our intent was to come eat and be hungry. I'm not interested in all the bells and whistles. What I want is a team that fights their ass off, and they did tonight.
That's my coach right there.
Yeah.
That's my coach.
Fights.
I'm ready to run through a wall. Georgia's
Heck
won
yeah.
50 straight games against teams not named Alabama.
51.
50.
I thought it was 51.
Maybe it's 51. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Really.
Whatever, it's 50.
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
impressive. All right, clip 2. I had a little run-in with my cattle over the weekend, and I guess they've been watching us play, and I got head-butted. So I've got a bad eye that I didn't think would be particularly enjoyable for people when they're looking at my pretty face in a live interview. Okay. Who said it?
Wow.
So this is college, right?
Yes. This is a coach who, for his weekly press conference, showed up on Zoom and had the video turned off.
My cattle. Who has cattle?
Boy, it's weird. Whenever it's one I don't know, they always sound like Sam Pittman.
I know, right?
I mean, he probably definitely has cattle.
Yeah, I would bet he
He
has
definitely
cattle.
has beef in the
Trying to
freezer.
look
I
here.
don't
Like
know
Hugh
that.
Freeze doesn't have cattle.
Right.
I don't think Mike Elko has cattle.
I mean, Texas A&M has that big school where you learn how to carve a steak and stuff.
Yeah, Jeff Lebby, I don't think he's got cattle. Brian Kelly, he can
definitely.
You know what? He might have said it just to try to pretend like he's more Southern. Brian Kelly might have. There's a good chance he did that on purpose.
I think I stumped you guys. Once I tell you who it is, you're going to be like, oh, of course.
No.
All right.
We're going to figure this out.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to figure this out. I'm trying to look at games that happened, and I can... This is a known coach, right? You're not hitting me with like the Sam Houston or Western Kentucky
No, it's
coach,
a known
are you?
coach, yeah.
Okay.
Dabo talk about his cattle?
Dabo could talk about his cattle.
It's not Dabo.
I feel like if Dabo...
Although I have seen Alabama message boards, they're calling for Dabo.
No.
Yes. They're done with Kalen DeBoer. They're ready.
Oh, no.
All right, this is getting boring.
Yeah, come on, Rose.
Come
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure this out. Go
Vasquez.
for it.
All right, you got stumped.
Well, I had a little run-in with my cattle over the weekend, and I guess they've been watching us play, and got headbutted. So I've got a bad eye that I didn't think would be particularly enjoyable for people when they were looking at my pretty face in a live interview.
There you go. He later says the eye is filled with blood.
He does look better every time you see him.
I mean, he looks like a guy who'd have cattle, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I should have guessed that. That was a Friday night game, though. I wasn't thinking about the Friday night games.
Yeah.
All right, clip 3 is not a coach or a player.
Okay.
It's a media member. But this is such a good quote. I just wanted to have it in here. And it's an analyst. He said this over the weekend. He said, "Stats are like bikinis. They show some things, but not all things."
Booger McFarland. I saw this.
John Roser got it.
Yeah, I saw this.
Bug.
The best part's watch Dan Orlovsky on this clip as Booger.
How is Tennessee still in this game? Because it's been ugly on the offensive side.
No doubt. There's an old saying I learned a long time ago. Stats are like bikinis. They show some things, but not all things. If you look at the stats, Tennessee should be getting blown out in this game. 2 mistakes, 3 turnovers. They can't run the football, but because of their defense, specifically, that.
I like Orlovsky on the college coverage.
That's a good one.
I do too.
He's been good.
He's good, yeah.
I like
too.
Orlovsky on the college coverage. I'd prefer that to the NFL coverage, honestly. I think, like Louis Riddick, I think is great on the NFL, and they have him do college game. They have him. He always does like a college game. I do too, but I think he's better on the NFL. Like I think
agree.
he's
All right. All right,
back
here we go.
Lou Riddick.
Back to the coaches for clip 4. Obviously, another disappointing day.
Oh no.
Bitter. To know we're not able to get across the finish line against another top 20 team. Give them credit for not folding, continuing to battle. Our kids fought hard. We're not making enough plays or making enough right calls at times to win these close games.
Well, it wasn't Nebraska, because otherwise that would have been that was not a close game.
I'm going to say Kalen DeBoer.
No, because they didn't lose to another top 20 team.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't the first time.
Well, Vanderbilt is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they are now.
They are now.
They are now. Who could it be now? Damn. Brom?
No.
Oh.
Let's roll the clip. It's one of our favorites.
Is it Sam Pittman? It's Hugh Freeze. Damn.
Bitter to know we're not able to get across the finish line against another top 20 team. Give Missouri credit for not folding and continue to battle. Our kids fought hard.
Watch.
We're not making enough plays or making enough right calls at times to win these close games right now.
He caught himself. He's like, nah.
He's aware.
Yeah,
He's aware that it's there goes Hugh Freeze throwing his kids under the bus again.
Or calls.
Yeah.
I better include myself in this.
Yeah.
All right. This is a coach after a game this weekend. I don't know if you'll know this coach's name. If you can tell me the school, great. I love these kids. I give everything to these kids. I certainly understand the fans being upset. Nobody's more upset than me. Nobody wants to win more than me. My motivation for winning is probably different from theirs. I've been a winner all my life. We haven't won here yet, but we're putting everything we got into this thing. Who said it?
Matt Rule.
That sounds like a Matt Rule quote. That definitely does. I love the. Yeah.
But you said that we would probably wouldn't
You might
know
not
the
know
coach.
this guy.
Yeah. So
It's not Matt- it's not
probably
Matt
not
Rule.
Matt Rule.
Oh, so if we might not know this guy, why are we doing this?
I said if you can tell me the school, it's because there's a reason behind this, Roser. I don't do this for no reason.
Trent Dilfer.
That's a pretty good guess.
Mississippi State?
No, it's not bad.
Virginia? No, not Virginia.
No, I'll tell you what.
If this is Arkansas,
It's not.
Okay,
Here's the thing. We're going to roll
all
this
right.
clip, but I'll tell you it is. I'll tell you who it is. It's Southern Mississippi coach Will Hall.
Oh,
let's
God.
run this.
Why would we get
I'll tell
that?
you why.
I love these kids. I give everything to these kids.
Yeah.
I certainly understand the fans being upset. Nobody's more upset than me. Nobody wants to win more than me. My motivation for winning is probably
Fans
different than
chanted
theirs.
"Fire Will Hall" during their game.
You know,
All
winner
four
all
of them?
life. We haven't won here yet. We're putting everything we got into this thing.
And I brought this up because he
we fixed
He
it.
sounds like a fired coach.
he said, well, he got fired. He got fired the next day.
He did. Oh,
The day after this press conference.
unemployed.
Oh, that's why do we got to be mean to
That's why we're talking about Will Hall. He,
Sick.
nobody wants it more than him.
Fish, are you doing everything you can do for Grind City Media?
I like how he said, I've been a winner all my life.
Yeah,
But
I'm
we
trying
haven't
to
won here
help.
yet.
But not here.
I want to help you
man.
be
Yeah.
the best you can be
He, a day after that, he got fired.
for Grind City Media. And give it all to these kids. Just we haven't won here yet.
Yeah, he sounded
But
like a fired coach.
I feel like we're just getting there. We're starting to get the kids on the right side of things, and just
All right.
a little bit more push.
Clip 6. You can be aggressive, but just because you convert doesn't guarantee you make it one possession. So you would hope you can make a kick on one of those, but our kicking game has been atrocious.
Oh,
So if you can kick and you're in school here, email me. We're going to have kicking tryouts on Monday, so bring it on. Kicking tryouts Monday. I'm dead serious.
Kenny Dillingham, Arizona State.
You got it?
is that right? Is that right?
You can
Correct?
be aggressive, but just because you convert doesn't guarantee that you make it one possession. So you would hope that you can make, a kick, one of those, but our kicking
furious.
game's atrocious. So if you can kick and you're at Arizona State, email me, right? We're going to have kicking tryouts on Monday. So bring it on, kicking tryouts Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I'm dead serious. We're going to put it out on our social. We're going to have
About an hour after that, he apologized on Twitter for throwing his kicker under the bus. And,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
making him feel poorly.
that's a little bit of a young coach thing right there. Like that's definitely
It
the
is
young
pretty
coach
funny,
thing.
though, yeah.
It's funny, but it is like, hey man, like
He said in his apology that he was like, look, I apologize because it's not like I'm throwing like the defensive backs.
right.
It's one guy. There's one kicker that's not getting it done.
It's how he did it.
Yeah.
It's how he did it.
Well,
like,
he's clearly pissed too.
He's
Like,
clear. Yeah, he did it. He's very emotional about it. Where it's like if you were to go into a press conference and you just said like our kicking game has not been where we want it to be. So we're going to open up this job and give anybody else an opportunity, and we're going to try to find. And if who's been kicking for us, if that turns out that's our best kicker going forward, then that's what we're going to continue to go with. But we are going to open it up to a competition
maybe some
now.
competition will help.
Yeah, maybe some competition. Yeah, right there, different ways of wording it. Rather than our kicking game is atrocious, so students, you want to come kick for us? Come on.
Email me.
Yeah, just email
He
me.
said email me. All right, last one. NFL. We're going to the NFL here. This is a player, not a coach. My teammate used to say, walk into your trap, take over your trap, was the line he would say. So that's kind of is what it is. You go to someone else's stadium, you try to assert yourself.
That's Kirk Chains. It's Kirk Cousins.
It is Kirk Cousins who said
Kirk
it
Cousins.
before they hosted the
My
Seattle.
teammate used to say, walk into your trap, take over your trap, was the line he would say. And so that's kind of what it is. You go into someone else's stadium and you try to assert yourself. That's what everybody's trying to do when they go on the road. It's hard to do, but that's certainly the goal.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Kirk Cousins dressed like that is amazing. Like
The
he
Seattle
really
Seahawks.
is like living in Atlanta
Look at the
now.
picture of
Isn't he?
him.
I mean, incredible. Kirk Chains.
The Seattle Seahawks walked into Atlanta's trap and took over the trap yesterday, beating the Falcons in Atlanta.
Yeah, they really did.
They
Yeah,
did.
They sure
Did you
did.
see the clip 2 weeks ago of after Cousins, when the Falcons won? I forgot which game it was, Tampa Bay. He was on the Dan Patrick show the next morning, and he did it from his car from a Waffle House parking lot. And they were like, all right, the full Atlanta thing has happened now. He's yeah. All right, that's who said it.
All right, very nice, very nice. How about some nuggets before we get to the break? Want to get some nuggets? All right. Well, we got a few of them. Since 2012, the Missouri Tigers have 6 wins when trailing by 2 touchdowns or more. That's the most wins in the SEC in that time.
Good grief.
Great.
How about that? Indiana, the Hoosiers are 7-0 for the second time in program history, and they put a whooping on Nebraska. It was stunning how big they won.
Yeah, they did put a whooping on them.
Who's gonna be the game day picker
At Indiana?
At Indiana.
Oh, Antoine Randall L.
There's got to be somebody more famous than that.
Calbert Cheney. Mark Cuban.
I thought about Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban's
I mean,
the one.
probably the most famous athletes in Indiana right now are Caitlin Clark and Tyrese Halliburton or Anthony Richardson. Like, I don't know, like somebody like that.
Caitlin Clark wouldn't do that. She went to Iowa. They're in the same conference.
no.
Like, she ain't doing that.
I thought about that.
Who's Indiana playing?
Halliburton went to Iowa State. Indiana plays Washington. So I don't know.
Yeah, Halliburton went to
Mark
Iowa
Cuban's
State.
probably like the most high-profile alum, right?
Benedict Matherin.
Oh, you know who's from Indiana?
Who?
David Letterman.
They're not
I just
gonna
Googled who's
I
from
doubt they get David Letterman
Larry
to
Bird.
do it. Larry Bird's not doing that.
Why not?
Why would he?
He was at the NBA Hall of Fame last week. I think he's around.
Yeah, I just
John
don't see Bird
Mellencamp.
getting up there and doing
Oh,
that.
No.
Babyface.
There you go.
Colonel Sanders. Oh, he died in 1980.
Damn, that's tough.
Greg Kinnear, Brendan Fraser, David Lee Roth. It's from Indiana.
Hey, you're just naming people from Indiana.
I am.
Not actually
Mick
realistic.
Foley.
Dude, Mick Foley would be great.
That would be amazing.
Mick Foley would be great. David Lee Roth would be amazing because he
Didn't
probably
he just turned
70 or something.
There's a
75.
good chance. I would willing to bet he does not watch football and he would just be purely entertaining. Might be on drugs. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd say go with David Lee Roth. Get him and Corso up there.
All right. Alabama, by the way, they had a streak of 16 consecutive seasons without multiple losses before November snapped with their loss this week to Tennessee. Mike Elko is the first coach to start 6-1 in his first season at A&M since old Tubby Graves back in 1918.
Tubby Graves. One of
You
my
remember
favorites.
Tubby Graves.
Yeah.
The Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, are the only team to not have a first quarter point this season.
Here's another one.
Isn't that amazing?
Daniel Jones has not had a touchdown inside the stadium. Oh, wow. That's where we're going. You're going right to it. Okay. All right.
I saw it on the list.
658 days.
Incredible. Like, I know he missed a lot of time last year, but, dude, it ain't that hard to get a touchdown. Like,
Is that 2 years? 658
either you
days?
run it in
Yeah.
or you throw it to somebody. You have Malik Neighbor. Like, I don't know. It
They
shouldn't.
don't have Malik Neighbors.
Dude, he is terrible.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good for the Giants. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the Monday Night Football action tonight and take a peek at what's coming up this week in college football. That's all ahead. Plus, free picks. I don't know. Anybody got free picks? I got a couple.
We'll find something.
Yeah, we'll get you some before we get out of here today. That's next here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard suite and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. We want to take a look at what's going on tonight and what's happening this week ahead, plus some free picks before we get out of here as well. Tonight, we got double the fun, 2 Monday night football games. The Baltimore Ravens, 3.5-point favorite at Tampa.
Use fun loosely with this.
And then you got the Chargers, 1.5-point favorite at Arizona. Baltimore's won 11 straight against NFC opponents. Tampa 1-10 against the AFC North. That's straight up. Baltimore's won 5 straight head-to-head, and they've covered 4 of their last 5 at Tampa. Meanwhile, the Cardinals 2-13 against the spread at home on Monday Night Football. 1-5 against the spread against the Chargers at home as well. Do you like either? Both?
No. If anything, I would take the Ravens probably.
Ravens tonight minus the 3.5 over the Bucs.
So, yeah. The other game just feels like one to stay away from.
There's a little parlay going on here.
Okay.
Let's check some
We're going to do a parlay?
Parlay us.
Watch what I cook up here.
All right.
He's cooking.
I want to cook. Let me cook.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
We are going to go. Crap, where is it? Touchdown scores. There we go. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Okay. We're going to add more to this. We're going to add more to this. Passing props. We're going to go.
Kyler Murray interception.
We're going to go. Yeah, where is it? No, we're going to go Baker Mayfield over 0.5 interceptions.
I like that.
We think he's going to throw one tonight.
All right.
Then we're going to go to Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown, plus 120. Now we're at plus 45. We're not done yet. J.K. Dobbins, anytime touchdown scorer, that's minus 120. Then we go and find.
Do Ravens defense interception.
Then we go and find Kyler Murray over 0.5 interceptions. That's even. Why is that even money? That's even money. That gets you to plus 1742. $10 will pay out $184.21.
Wow, there you go.
Or you can get a parlay boost. Pays out $271.30. You can do that.
All right.
I just did it.
You just did it.
Do it.
There you go. There's the bet. And we're taking the Yankees in the World Series. Screw the Dodgers.
I'm going with the Cardinals and the Ravens tonight. I like the Cardinals at home tonight.
I don't like that game.
I don't like the Cardinals at all in anything. I think they're terrible. My team should probably have to forfeit the rest of the season for losing to them. They suck.
They're going to win tonight, straight
They
up.
might.
You don't even need the 1.5 against the Chargers.
This is the first year I've
I would
gotten
take
Justin Herbert off my fantasy
Dude,
team
that
in multiple
Chargers-
years. I'm just glad to be out
That
of Justin
Chargers
Herbert business.
defense is good, though. But Monday night in Arizona, they could be fired up for it. Kyler may be different at home. He is so mid. Like, he is the mid of mid.
Yeah. But they are my play of the day. Cardinals.
Oh, the play of the
Plus
day.
1.5.
He loves it.
Okay.
Against the Chargers.
All right.
Also, we got college football early this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, we got some action. And when you look at the schedule for Tuesday and Wednesday in college football, all I can think of is these teams are all terrible. Not one of them has a good number against the spread. Not one of them. Sam Houston, 6.5-point favorite at Florida International. La Tech over UTEP by a touchdown. Liberty by 24 at Kennesaw State. And Jacksonville State, 21.5 over Middle. There's not a game in that bunch that I even like. Y'all, anything? Interested?
No.
I guess I'll try to figure out a bet or two out
You
of
fish.
that bunch.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
No?
actually,
You don't have to. You
there's
don't
some
have
better
to bet on
games
them.
like
Okay.
Thursday, Friday this week.
Yeah, there are better games Thursday and Friday. We'll get to those on Thursday's odds couple. But let's take a peek at the lines for the SEC weekend coming up. A couple of interesting games there with Oklahoma, Ole Miss. Ole Miss 20.5-point favorite. Arkansas with the touchdown and the
Oklahoma
hook.
fired their offensive coordinator today.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Alabama under 2 touchdowns against Missouri.
It's a tough one.
Texas 17.5 at number 25 Vanderbilt.
I like that one. Let's go. Come on, Vandy.
Do you believe in A&M?
Nah.
field goal favorite at home against LSU.
Man, I'm staying away from that game.
Yeah, me too.
I'd stay away from it. LSU, I just don't know.
I don't either. Talk about mid, Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I like LSU there.
Auburn and
we'll
Kentucky is just.
For Kentucky, crapped the bed last week. So bad.
That should be like watching Auburn and Kentucky should be punishment for somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
speaking of punishment,
like if your son does something bad this week and he's like, it's your punishment, you have to sit here,
watch the whole thing.
You tape him to the chair, eyes open, no phone. You have to watch
like Clockwork Orange.
You've got to watch Auburn. You've got to watch Auburn, Kentucky.
Ugh. Tigers are taking on Charlotte. They should punish Charlotte this week. Charlotte comes in at 3-4 on the season. Tigers are a big favorite. 19-point favorite, the total at 57.5.
The only funny thing about all this also is like we thought this would be the day probably Billy Napier got fired, but they actually looked very good over the weekend.
Yeah.
And so he hasn't gotten fired yet, so maybe he's going to be there they play Georgia next week. Not this weekend, the week after.
Yeah.
But this was the weekend we'd all had scheduled.
I picked after the Georgia game.
Okay.
So I'm still alive.
Well, here's the other thing. Georgia had 3 guys thrown out for targeting, so they have to miss the first half. Like starting secondary guys are going to miss the first half of that Florida game. So maybe they keep it close enough that he could be like, oh, well, okay, we see some things here.
We see some things. That's what you're rooting for as a Georgia fan, right?
Yes.
He keeps his job.
Yes, for sure.
You've got to hire Signetti.
As a gambler.
You have to hire Signetti.
I think so.
He's 63 years old. He does not look 63 years old. He does not act 63 years old. He very much is like energy, and he's moving up and down the sidelines, and he's talking trash.
Yeah, Tigers,
and if Florida doesn't hire him, Ole Miss should hire him.
I mentioned Tigers 19-point favorite. All right, free picks. You guys gave out a couple of football picks. Anything else?
I like Thursday night is the one I had my eye on. Syracuse at Pittsburgh, number 19 Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's favored by 6 at the moment, but I like Syracuse. I like Fran Brown, their coach.
Kyle McCord.
Yeah.
Going with Kyle McCord.
I don't know if they're going to win, but I think
the McCord.
they'll keep it within 6.
One other pick for me. I like Toronto and Tampa tonight in hockey. Toronto and Tampa under the 6.5. Toronto and Tampa under the 6.5.
That's
tonight.
a thing.
So, don't root for goals. Root for goalies to be standing on their heads tonight. Toronto and Tampa under the 6.5. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Odds Couple. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday afternoon. We'll be back with you on Thursday at 2 o'clock, live on Thursday at 2, right here on Grind City Media. For Lang, for Roser, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of the Odds Couple. We'll see you Thursday. Good luck with your bets, and keep it here on Grind City Media.